Are the devastating floods in Durban a sign of climate change? Well, authorities say it is, and it could get worse. ENCA's Siphamandla Koke has the story.
It's KwaZulu-Natal's economic hub and Africa's playground, drawing thousands of tourists every year. But it's now a city under grave threat. Durban is part of the country's 4 coastal cities, which have been identified by experts as being at risk of severe flooding by 2050. That's according to the 2018 C40 Cities Future We Don't Want report. C40 is a network of the world's mega cities fighting climate change.
There's no doubt that we're experiencing climate change. Whether this particular event can be ascribed to climate change or not is a much more difficult question to answer, because climate change is about changes in the statistics over time. It's not about individual events. But we have seen an increase in the frequency of climate-related disasters in the last few years. And that's not only floods like this one, but also giant fires and droughts.
President Cyril Ramaphosa says Mother Nature's wrath has been devastating.
Our hearts go out to all those families and all our people who've been very badly affected with this. The force of nature is so huge, and this is partly what climate change is about, that it just hits when we least expect it.
Vulnerable communities in these areas have no choice but to adapt.
That is why our program is to ensure that there's a lot of adaptation that takes place, a lot of education with our communities, how to build, where to build, what to do in case of emergencies, but also to ensure that all our response machinery is ready.
With severe, unpredictable weather patterns expected to become the norm, authorities and climate scientists are warning things will get worse. Siphamandla Koke, Durban.
Now, as the old adage goes, better safe than sorry. ENCA's Weather Centre has some tips to keep in mind when dealing with floods.
Now let's quickly take a look at some flooding safety tips. Move to higher ground as quickly as possible. Remember to not attempt to drive through a flooded road, and this one is very important. Only 15 centimeters of water is enough to knock you off your feet, and that is as shallow as your ankle. So please do not attempt to walk through flooded areas or to drive through flooded areas. Between 30 and 60 centimeters of rushing water is enough to carry off most cars, including SUVs. Lastly, avoid low water bridges as far as possible.
Finally, we look at the last week's tragedy in pictures. That's it for this special edition of Week in One. Take care and goodbye.